This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Dr. Letitia Wright. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am well. Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you. What parts of the world are you in right now?
I am in Los Angeles, so
Sweet.
I am home.
All right. Well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
I believe it is my speaking talent. I think we connected through a speaking website on the East Coast, and that is our connection.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, do tell me, what are the topics you speak on?
I usually speak about two things, either media or crowdfunding, how to fund your business, and how to fund your business using the business crowdfunding techniques. And so I help busy entrepreneurs figure out that funding piece. And I usually come in and strategize with them to help them figure out the best way to do it. And then many times they bring me in to do that for them because they're really busy and everyone in their camp is busy already doing things. And so they really do need an extra person just to come in and handle it. And so that's what I do.
Well, that's great. Well, for those that are listening, where's the best place for them to connect with you?
I have a nice little scheduling thing called meetwithdrwright.com. So they just go to www.meetwithdrwright.com. It's Dr. DRWRIGHT, meetwithdrwright.com, and they can get on my calendar and we can chat.
That's great. I love the play on words, right? Meet with Dr. Wright. I mean, it's like you've already sold it, right? Because you're Dr. Wright. And that's wonderful.
It's kind of easy because it's my name. So.
Yeah, it is your name, right? So amazing on it again. It's Dr. WRIGHT, right? Meetwithdrwright.com. Love that. Well, Dr. Wright, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Consistently, I have taught about crowdfunding and changed people's mind about business crowdfunding. Most people think crowdfunding is someone going and begging for money. And when I first began teaching about crowdfunding, I used to be in the same circle and I would run into this one man who was also a speaker, and he would walk past me and he would say, "It's just online begging. It's just online begging." And he would really snarl at me and try to make me feel bad. And I was like, what's his problem? And I just really realized people just had no idea. And in 2018, $289 billion changed hands in business crowdfunding. So people are really missing the boat in what the potential is and what can happen. They have no idea. And this guy is not a millionaire and he's not a billionaire, so he had no clue as to what's going on. And so my thing is, not everybody is going to use crowdfunding, but it is a business tool you should know, you should understand, so that if you choose to, you can pull the trigger and use it inside your business.
Yeah, definitely. I think we were looking at, I can't remember the name of what we were looking at on Netflix, but it was something surrounding homes that are built. And it was really cool to see one guy that crowdfunded the project. So he used his money, right? He got to a point, but then what he did is he offered individuals the opportunity to stay and then do their course, right? So they were doing an in-house course, and you can just, again, crowdfund it by contributing to the cause. And for that, you get, again, free, well, not free, but you get entry into the course. And again, they were just giving prizes. So there are two types of crowdfunding that I've seen. One where you're donating and one where you get nothing after you donate, except for, of course, good vibes, right? As we would say in Trinidad, good vibes. And then secondly, the other one where it's rewarded, right? Like you are immediately rewarded. Am I accurate? Am I doing that correct?
Well, there's actually 5 different ways of crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And so there's charity crowdfunding where you're giving and you're giving out of the goodness of your heart to help help someone or help a cause. There is equity crowdfunding where you're actually buying or selling shares of your company. So the people actually own a piece of the project as owners or investors. There's what we call reward-based crowdfunding, where there's a sort of pre-sale and exchange. You give me $25 now, and in the future, I'll give you my book. And my book that's coming out is called Confessions of a Master Crowdfunder. So that's kind of a pre-sale. There's what's called subscription.
Is that really your book? Okay.
That is really my book. That's for real. So that's a pre-plug. You get the first plug. You get the first person to hear about it.
I love it.
There is subscription crowdfunding where people are continually giving to you on a subscription basis. And so podcasts are perfect for that because people can give on a monthly basis. There's a guy who makes over $100,000 a month with his podcast. And so people are giving to you every single month. So that's subscription crowdfunding. There's what we call crowdfunded loans. And so you can create a loan that is crowdfunded. And then there's a government partnership crowdfunding. That is kind of rare, and it's a very special occasion. It's not done by everybody, and it's not done at will. So I don't talk a lot about it. That's a very special situation. But some of that is going on. And so there's actually 5 different ways that you can crowdfund. All of them have different rules. And what's happening is that because people don't really have a deep understanding of any of it, they're putting the wrong rules with things. And it's sort of like you're getting out there in the football field with baseball rules, and people are getting hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Please hold your headsets. I think it's just rubbing on either your hair or your t-shirt.
I think it's rubbing, my hair.
Okay, yeah, that's super cool.
It's like, I know what you look like. I know that's your hair.
I did see her. We had a conversation, and it's really cool that the episode before you as well, like she had dreadlocks, and she spoke about, well, her thing is a whole entire different thing with NFL, but yeah, just really cool that you both have long hair, right? That's super cool. I love what you're doing.
You can troubleshoot it quickly. You're like, I know what's happening. All right.
I love that. So all right. So we're crowdfunding. We want to connect with you. We go to Meet Dr. Wright at
with Dr. Wright.
meetwithdrwright.com. Wonderful. All right, my friend. Let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you now into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Dr. Letitia, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I think the earliest childhood memory is sitting on the steps in New York, in Long Island, my grandparents' home with my grandmother's cat, Tammy. I think that's my earliest, just chilling. I just remember petting this cat and chilling.
How old do you think you were?
Probably 3 or 4.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think because it was warm weather and I love pets, and I was probably just really happy, just really chill.
How do you see it? Sure. Sorry, go ahead.
Spring or summer. Yeah, it's a spring or summer and just kind of that perfect kind of day and, just chilling. I don't know.
Yeah. How do you see it connecting to who you are today, that memory?
Because for a long time I wanted to be a veterinarian, and I am still to this day a burbs girl. That was kind of the suburbs. That's not a Westbury, Long Island is not a city, hard New York city, but it is New York, and so I think it's sort of definitely shaped who I am. I'm still a burbs girl to this day. So
wonderful. Well, so all right. So I usually do like an interpretation thing here, right? Like how the memory pops out in my mind. Can I do that right now? Like how
you can? That'd be fun.
So okay. So I love the fact that within the journey of life, right, there are 4 things, which are the seasons, right? So seasons are important to realize and understand, but I love that you're on the steps, and in life as well there are steps, and if taken right, you do have that time to rest and relax, have fun, like what you were doing with the pet, like just being in solitude. And I think that in itself is important to get to that place in your business. And I think it really helps tremendously when you're in your business and you can work get the work done, just like getting funded, and then have that ability to rest so that you can do, what you love even more.
Yes, absolutely.
If we fast forward to thank you. If you fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
I don't know that I had a favorite song. I think I was just discovering pop music. And so I was, my parents, my mother was going through a really interesting time. I was being homeschooled at a time when homeschool was not a thing. So actually, she and her friends had decided that they would take their children out of school and start their own school. And while it's very common now, when I was a kid, this was not common. And they even had a little thing with the police, kind of threatening them. You have to take your children to school. This is not, there were this just wasn't really done. And they wanted to start their own school. They didn't feel like there was enough Black history, African American history. They just didn't feel like schools were doing their children justice. And so I happened to be one of the older children in that group of kids. And so it was a great advantage because for me, I got to go at the speed that I wanted to go. So I could learn as fast as I wanted to learn. I wasn't in a classroom situation. There wasn't anybody my age. So I could read all the books I wanted to read. I could blow through material. And I was literally like just blowing through material because I could go as fast as I wanted to go. So I was a little bit not there into the music. I was just really into studying. And I also got to, when it came to science and everything, I had this really great freedom to like explore anything I want. So when I finished science books, they would go to wherever the bookstore, I don't know what bookstore they went to, but they would go whatever school bookstore, and they would buy me the next science book and buy me the next, the set of experiments. And so I was really into schoolwork because I had literally like no distractions, literally zero distractions. So I wasn't that into music at 12.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just wasn't there.
Sounds like it was a fun trade.
It was for me. It was, I'm in touch with some teachers I had back then, and their recollection of me was that I was always reading. Like they were even kind of concerned about me being
eating books. Eating and drinking books.
Eating and drinking books. But the other part of it, I think they don't realize, and she may not even realize to this day, is that there wasn't anybody my age to play with. Like, who was I going to talk to? Like, the rest of the kids were like, I'm 12, and the rest of the kids are like 8. That's a big gap. You know what I mean? So it's like, what was I going to do? Who was I going to, quote unquote, play with? There was nobody there to play with or talk to. These are little, I'm 12. They're little kids.
I'm an adult. Yeah, I'm 12.
Right. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to these little kids. So I think they didn't, I was isolated, and they saw me and thought I was isolating myself even more. But I think they didn't realize, hey, there's nobody here for me to talk to. You guys didn't. There's a lot of kids here, but they're not my age. So.
All right, my friends. Well, it's cool. We've arrived at our destination now. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Dr. Wright, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Not yet.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Oh, yes, because I have a TV show. I have to watch TV, so yes.
There we go. Well, what about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It's less than 8, but I probably consume way more screen time than most people.
All right. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Dr. Letitia Wright, what would you say that is?
The statement is, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right.
Love it. Dr. Wright, this was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Just thank you so much. It was so fun meeting you, and It's been a great journey. I appreciate you so much for this.
I appreciate you too. The good thing is we got to have 2 conversations, probably about 40 minutes overall. Yeah, we got to speak. It was totally fun. Dr. Letitia Wright, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.